It's 4 o'clock. Palm Springs Airport Commission meeting. Welcome guests who are here for you today. Glad you're all here. Let's start by doing the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The agenda has been posted. Thank you. Let's do a roll call, please. Yeah.
Hardwell.
Here.
Corcoran.
Here.
Lovato. Steiner.
Here.
Long. Hedrick.
Here.
Heel.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
McDermott. Here. Clark. Here. Laska.
Here.
Stokler.
Here.
Valdez.
Here.
Voss.
Here.
Wiseman. Wiseman. One second. And Weiss.
Here.
Young.
Here. So, any changes to the agenda, please? We can change the agenda. You raised your hand. Nope. Okay, we're good. All right.
Commissioners Burke.
Yes.
Hardwell.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Lovato. Steiner.
Yes.
Long.
Aye.
Hedrick.
Aye.
Heel.
Aye.
Martin.
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Laska.
Yes.
Stokler.
Yes.
Valdez.
Yes.
Voss.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Young.
Yes. Yes. Are there any public comments today? Anybody want to make a public comment limited to 3 minutes? Anybody from the public?
Yes, we do have a public comment in the room. Mr. Paul Henrichsen.
Well said. Good afternoon, commissioners and guests and staff and others. I want to talk to you a little bit about audio technology. You've probably already been presented it before. I am a resident of Palm Springs, and I just came to encourage you to look further into Auracast technology. Raise your hand if you know what Auracast is. It's relatively new. It's part of a Bluetooth standard that was released at the end of 2019. It takes time for that technology to get into products, but those products are now on the market. Many people are wearing them. Many guests who are traveling through this airport are wearing them now. And that would be, for example, hearing aids with Auracast technology. My husband has it, as do many of our friends. And if you have an Auracast device, you use an app on your phone, you choose that Auracast broadcast, such as coming from Palm Springs Airport, and you hear all the announcements in perfect fidelity directly into your device. And it's not limited to hearing aids, but also headsets and earbuds can also use this Bluetooth technology. In addition to that, you can also select a language. So say, for instance, you're traveling from a foreign country, English you struggle with or don't have any familiarity with at all, you choose your language and you're going to hear it in a familiar language. This Auracast technology is not difficult to implement. It's not expensive to implement. In fact, I even did it in our own home to our TVs with a $50 device from Amazon. You can do that too. You can buy TVs today at Costco and elsewhere that already have the Auracast technology built into them, as well as you can buy hearing aids at Costco and so many other places. They've been on the market for a couple of years. They're really starting to roll out. This technology is coming forward, and let me know when the 3-minute hook is up. I'll be quiet.
Wait.
Halfway there? Oh, I've got a lot to talk about. No, I'll keep it short. I just wanted to bring that to the commission's attention and encourage us to be early adopters here at Palm Springs Airport for our visitors and such. It really is transformative. When I set it up in our home and my husband turned it on for the first time, it brought him into tears because he said, I never thought I would be able to hear with such clear fidelity, especially dialogue, ever again in my life. So thank you for listening. Auracast is part of Bluetooth. It's not a brand name. It's part of the Bluetooth standard. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, next.
We also have a public speaker on Zoom. Michael Lawler. Can you hear it? Can you speak? Hello?
Hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name's Michael Lawler. I have lived in Rancho Mirage for the last 7 years. And what I've become aware of is that, and this is probably something that the commission may not have direct control over, it's probably FAA related, but the flight paths into PSP have changed recently. And the planes all come across Palm Desert and Rancho Mirage, low and loud, and it's really messed up the quality of life here. There was a long thread on Nextdoor about it, and I don't know if anything can be done about it, but I wanted to mention that planes coming in low over Rancho Mirage at 9:30 in the evening, it's not great, and during peak times they're a couple of minutes apart, and it's really destroyed the quiet peace that we used to have here. So I'm hoping that there's something that can be done about that. I know that it may be a safety issue and there may be other reasons, but perhaps there can be some change made to accommodate this noise level that's relatively new. And that's about it for me. Thank you for your consideration.
Shalom, thank you so much. It's an issue that we are working on, and stay tuned. Keep in touch. We're working on it with not only our commission, but with other communities as well. So please keep in touch on this issue. We are as well.
Thank you.
Are there any other public comments? Okay, let's go to approval of the minutes, our meeting for February 18th. I need a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second, great. Brianna?
Yes.
Abstain?
Okay.
Yes.
Rubenstein?
Aye.
Hendrick?
Aye.
Keel?
Aye.
Martin?
Aye.
McDermott?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Alaska?
Yes.
Stoffler?
Yes.
Valdez?
Yes.
Ball?
Yes.
Wiseman? White?
Yes.
Young?
Yes. Just thank you. Our first topic tonight is the parking revenue control system. This is really exciting. Ed, who's taking the lead on this? There you are. Ed, welcome.
Thank you. Chairman Parkin, Commissioners, we seek your recommendation to the Palm Springs City Council for an airport to procure a parking access and revenue control system and reservation system from SCADATA. SCADATA is here today to show you a presentation and will be available afterwards for questions. Gentlemen.
Thank you. My name is Malloy Poor with SCADATA. I appreciate you giving me this audience and allowing us to provide some of the benefits that the new upgraded system will provide, not only the airport, but most importantly, your guests. So just a quick agenda of what we'll hit in the presentation. We'll give a little blurb about SCADATA. We're part of the Assa Abloy family. The hardware modernization, license plate recognition, which is a big advancement for the parking access and revenue control system. Mobility Suite, which is our new cloud platform. Scan to Pay, which is a convenience feature for guests of the airport. Reservations, providing an online prepay reservation system. New contract parker management, pay-per-use and loyalty programs, and then now we'll be open for question and answers. So just a little, I guess, self-promotion. SKIDATA in the summer of 2024 was acquired by ASSA ABLOY. ASSA ABLOY is the largest access control focused company in the world, out of Sweden. They own such companies as Yale Lock, HID, and many other platforms that are all focused on securing access. Them acquiring SKIDATA has provided us additional investment for technology, as well as for providing the best service to our clients. Their motto is purely global, but uniquely local. They are totally focused on customer service and customer loyalty. And it's a great enhancement for us. We're actually in the process of expanding our project and service teams so that we can attend and respond in the promptest fashion possible. This is just a quick overview of the hardware components that will be gracing the airport. We will be providing LPR cameras in all lanes. We'll go over that functionality and how that provides advanced convenience as well as security function. Our new entrance and exit terminals. The barrier gates will get a huge upgrade, providing some new technology that works in conjunction with our LPR system. And then there's a little kind of enhancement on what the new terminals can provide. Because they have a large digital touchscreen, these can be configured for special programs. They can be used for advertisements. If one of the tenants in the airport wanted to do advertisements in the lane to attract clientele, you can use it for special programs that are happening at the airport. There's just a lot of functionality that's quick and easy to set up and to utilize to provide additional communication to your clientele. So this is what the new terminals will look like. They will have the EMV most secured credit card processing terminals built into them. This will provide tap to pay, so the transactions are fast and convenient. They utilize a roll style ticket instead of what is currently being used, which is a form fee, a fan fold paper ticket. What it does is it provides advantages for the airport for a lesser expensive consumable and provides a quick and convenient process for the users. It's very high speed, really provides a bright, clean display for communication. It does provide intercom connectivity to the operations staff if there's ever any challenge with someone not knowing how to either enter or exit the facility. And it is fully integrated with our system to provide a very clean, convenient use. The gates will be upgraded to have the new digital head. As you see here, there's a picture of one with an arrow and one with a red stop sign on it. When we utilize LPR in the lane, it's very important to be able to use that functionality to provide additional convenience to customers. And how this works is when a patron comes in, they pull the ticket, the camera will encode their license plate and marry it with that ticket number, so that when they either pay for their transaction online or they are within the grace period, let's just say they turned into the wrong lot, they can turn around as long as they're in the grace period or they have a paid ticket, the gate will automatically vend. so they don't have to stop in the exit lane. So it provides much more flow at the exits. A lot of the problems when we introduce this technology is parkers who aren't used to it, they'll stop at that terminal because they're not looking forward, they're looking to process their ticket. And a lot of times the gate has already vended and is in the up position, but they're trying to insert their ticket or do something at the machine. With this head, it provides an attraction. So when the gate arm is down, they'll see the stop sign, so they know they have to stop at the gate. But when the camera picks up their license plate, identifies that they don't have a fee due, the gate arm will open, and that arrow actually shows direction and motion, so it will move up the screen. It's very eye-catching. It provides just great convenience, keeping your exit lanes flowing so that you can process patrons in a more expedient fashion. I don't have a slide, but I also want to communicate that we're including in the system a UPS system in each lane. So this will be a safeguard if there ever occurs a power outage. The lane will stay in full operation for 30 to 45 minutes. Hopefully that's enough time that power comes back on, but it allows your system to continue to operate, so you don't have a loss of revenue just because the power is out. So this is a picture of the LPR camera. They'll be mounted on a post in each lane, capturing the rear plate of the vehicle in the lane. It doesn't only work as a convenient feature for your guests, but also for your employees and anybody who may be enrolled into either a frequent parker program or an employee of the airport. So those individuals, instead of having an access card, their license plate will be tied to their profile. So when they enter the facility, the gate will automatically open. So when it's 101 degrees outside, yes.
They don't have a front license plate.
So this is reading rear plate. We do front plate in a lot of areas, California, especially with a large population of Teslas. We don't go there. So we're capturing rear plate. If they don't have a plate, then they can still use their traditional access card that they're using today. So it's interchangeable technology, so provides a very convenient and powerful feature for the system. It also can provide a level of security if someone were to run through or manually lift up a gate arm. That type of activity can be caught on these cameras, so they can be fed not only to our system but to a DVR. So that kind of vandalism can be identified and prosecuted. We'll be moving the software system to the cloud, currently hosted on a server, and for advanced reliability and accessibility, we'll now host it in the cloud. By hosting it in the cloud, we provide accessibility for all the functionality. So instead of operations staff having to sit in the management office and be able to either run reports or control the system, check on status of different devices, all of that can be completed on any either handheld, laptop, any device that has internet access will have all of that information conveniently in front of them. Part of our new software suite is the scan to pay feature. So on the ticket, there will be a QR code. Your patrons can, as they're picking up their luggage, they can scan that with the camera of their mobile device and actually process their parking fee right then and there. So that when they get to their car, they can proceed to the exit. The gate will automatically vend. They won't have to do anything at the exit terminal to slow down any progress.
Excuse me,
Yes.
your Powergate terminal, I'm guessing the mobile payment options. Being a European company, I'm guessing that they speak Spanish?
Yeah, so we actually have the ability to do up to 4 languages on any device, and we currently cover 35 different languages. So we haven't run into one that we haven't been able to satisfy, but yeah, a lot of functionality, and it's all touch screen, so you can bring up really anything. But yeah, it will do it all within the system. This just quickly shows how easy it is to use the scan to pay feature. They'll use their mobile device. It will actually go to a branded landing page for the airport. All the credit card transactions will process through your processor. So there's no middleman on the program. It's all secure through WinCave and provides a quick, easy process for your patrons to pay their fee so that their exit is expedited. I mentioned that we'll be providing a reservation system. This, once again, will be a branded web page for the airport. Allow your parkers to reserve a space in advance and pay for it. You know, let's say they're going to be out of town for 4 days, they can go do a reservation for 4 days, prepay, and then the license plate recognition will use their license plate for coming in and out of the facility. So it's very quick and convenient for them to access the parking lots. For contract parkers, whether that's employees or staff of the airport, all of this can be now self-managed. So for employees, they can actually have a credit card on file. Every month they will process that transaction so that you know the weight doesn't fall on the operations team. A lot of that is self-managed. It's quick, it's easy. You can even have promotions for people to self-enroll. Our pay-per-use functionality allows you to essentially have a frequent parker program, providing loyalty options, like reduced rates for people who, let's say, are traveling in and out of the airport every week. They can enroll in this program. Once again, there will be a credit card on file, so every time they come in and come out, it's automatically deducted or charged to the credit card. Once again, provides them to use the functionality of the LPR system. So coming in, coming out, they don't have to stop. They don't have to roll down their window. They don't have to do anything. They can just proceed to the closest parking spot and get on their way. And that is it.
Couple of questions.
Yeah.
Did we go through some sort of an RFP process to? Will you just brief us on that?
Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's standard RFP process. Started back in the fall, and we sought both the parks, or parking access revenue control system, and a reservation system. So the vendors could either propose on one of those or both combined. And during that process, we actually, Skedata was the only company who proposed both. We didn't have any proposals separate for just the reservation system. And we received 6 proposals, but only 3 of them qualified. And we had a committee panel, airport personnel, IT, and also a parking manager, landside manager for another commercial airport in Knoxville. And, we went through and we did the ratings, conducted ratings on those, and it's pretty close. And then we scheduled interviews with the 3 firms, all 3 of them, and Skedata came out on top.
Questions, please. I think you're Phil. Phil, you were first.
Will this eliminate any jobs?
No, typically when we provide these type of upgrades, it provides additional convenience and functionality. We're not removing any of the cashier terminals. Those will be replaced with new terminals, but I mean, there's nothing. I'm sorry, maybe it was better answered by you.
Yeah, I can feel that a bit. So, I mean, as you can probably tell, you know, it's possible that for the system that we go cashierless, right? So we have cashiers right now. However, we're in the process of drafting a new RFP for parking management. And that contract is going to expire at the end of this year. And so within that new agreement that we have, there will be language in there where it's possible we could go cashierless. So it wouldn't reduce jobs now, but perhaps, you know, we might not need cashiers. New agreement comes into effect.
So are those people, are they airport employees or are they employees of the management company that manages the parking?
They're currently employees of ABM Parking.
The latter.
Want to just piggyback on Ed. There was a very robust RFP process. I sat on it as a commissioner. When I said robust, I guess I drew the short straw because this was days and many hours. And I guess I can say that with Skedata here. It was very close, but I think we have the best choice here. And I say that with a lot of confidence.
I appreciate your time on that, please.
My question's about, I mean, as you appreciate, we are in an environment here that has extreme weather days. And so if we are in a prolonged period of high 110s, 120s in the summer, just curious about reliability of sort of a more high-tech platform, durability of the hardware over years, and then just practically speaking, I know all of us who live here will sometimes encounter screens that are, if the sun is shining brightly on them, it can be hard to actually even see what's there. Sure. So just interested in having you address those, please.
Yeah, I think the best thing I can say is your current system is a Skedata system. So, you know, it's been weathering the storm for a number of years. It is a very harsh environment. And we do have a very bright screen that should not provide any challenges with people being able to see it. I mean,
any touch issues with really high heat? They have suns on it for, you know, okay. No.
Yeah. And one thing I'll say, we did do a little research and we found little small canopies. We provided as an option if that was something that the airport wanted to look at, you know, even down the road. It just helps prolong the life of the equipment. I mean, anything under this heat, it takes a toll. So it's just something that is included as an option in our proposal if sometime down the road you want to look at that.
Okay. So I use this when I go to LA. Sorry to say that. But
What is the cost savings per transaction versus what we're doing now? So, I mean, why do it? Are we saving money doing this? Or is it just or is there a cost per transaction for doing this versus what we're doing now?
Yeah, so we don't have any convenience fees built into any of our programs. So
But I mean,
there's not an additional cost. I understand what you're asking. You know, the current equipment is I would say struggling a bit because it is 7 to 10 years old. And there's a lot of the functionality that has a lot of moving parts. So you know, I think you're occurring a lot of service that would be reduced with the new system. The new system uses a thermal ticket printer. The current system uses what we call a coder, so it has a lot of moving parts and unfortunately can be a point of failure. So with the new system, it does remove a lot of those type of components. But you know, I would say the main drive behind this is to provide a new robust system that's going to last, provide additional convenience, additional benefits with the reservation, LPR. So it's more of, I would say, you're gaining a lot of function and convenience, and it's not to reduce the cost of per transaction.
well,
More of a guest experience.
it's a guest experience, but what we're doing is we don't know what the savings are or the additional costs.
Do we? Is that true?
So,
These are, it's for savings as far as like per transaction.
yeah, so we don't know we don't know versus where we are today, whether this is going to be less cost per transaction or more cost per transaction. We also know that we're going to be throwing people out of work because we all know, I mean, when you go to LAX, there's no one in those booths, which has a similar system. I forget whether you do that or that.
We do not do LAX.
So we're throwing some low income people out of work eventually. So I just want to know, besides the convenience thing, what is it costing? Are we saving? I understand it's more convenient, but
We can certainly get back to you, Ken, on a cost benefit analysis. I don't know if Victoria, you know, has done something like that, but we can certainly bring that back or get you something. But I don't think we have that right now.
There are no additional fees. It's using the same credit card processing that you currently are. It's just an updated terminal. So there will be a slight savings on consumable items because it does use a lesser expensive paper for the tickets and receipts.
But how are you making money?
It's a CapEx. It's CapEx. So it's a capital expenditure.
So, but it's an annual expenditure.
No, it's a one-time capital expenditure.
We're buying equipment.
Yeah,
right?
we're buying equipment. Yep. So there's no annual cost.
And
Part of
is there an annual maintenance fee?
Yeah.
it.
Yes, there is.
So
Which is what we were paying before, right? Or what we were paying
Well,
before.
so this is gonna be different than how we've been operating. So in 2016, the parking management company, they were responsible for installing the equipment. And they were responsible for holding the maintenance contract. And then when ABM took over the contract, that's still the case. So with this, the airport's doing the installation and the airport's gonna be responsible for maintenance contract. So, and the reason we're doing that is, you know, we have a landside team now. that we're developing. So we have the staff to be able to, conduct like, level one, type maintenance and preventive maintenance.
So the capital outlay is X. How much is that?
651. It's 794, is that right? That includes maintenance, and also the reservation system as well.
Okay. And will we need a ABM company?
To manage.
Yes.
Yes. on top
We
of
will
that.
we'll still need an ABM company.
Correct, right. It won't be completely frictionless. We'll still need somebody to manage the lot, because, transaction errors, also like guest experience. We foresee, this is like a part of a larger program for our land side. We foresee, having somebody out there to help direct and help guide passengers, or guests. And also with the reservation system, we're hoping to actually entice, some more, people to use the parking lot as well. So, we're looking to increase the revenue
So it's $700,000 to buy the equipment. Ish.
and, as well as the maintenance. Well, yes,
Over.
over 5 years.
Projected useful life on this
Yes.
equipment. So if we're spending X today on CapEx, how long is this gonna last?
So typical life for a park system in an airport environment is 7 to 10 years.
$100,000 a year if we amortize over 7 years. This reservation thing is interesting to me. How does that work? So I go ahead and I go on and I reserve a space and I come in. Does it direct me to the space?
It doesn't direct you to space. You're not actually reserving an actual parking spot. You're reserving a space within the lot. So especially on like heavy travel periods, the system would save a space for you if you purchased a reservation in that lot. So it encourages people to buy in advance, so it helps the operations staff and team to prepare for the flow. It provides payment in advance. So I'm not an operations person, so that Ed can maybe provide more of the benefits.
Well, I wanted to deflect. We have a resident expert here. John, do you mind feeling how it works at your airport?
Sure. All right, so reservation system, I'll use Ontario as an example. That's one of our airports that we operate. I'm with a company called Park Concepts. ABM's a competitor of ours. The customer makes a reservation, we reserve a spot for them. Lot 4 is our most utilized parking lot over there, and we do not often allow reservations in there just because it's going to fill up automatically. So we're able to control traffic that way, able to control which lots we want to do. We're able to do discounts at different times for different parking lots. But yeah, it does help us manage the flow of traffic, and we can push people to where we need them to go. And it's great for promotions and partnerships as well.
So I think my question for our ops team here, we don't really differentiate A, B, C, and D right now. You can drive to any one of those. I would have an expectation, making a reservation, that I'd be able to park in one of those. What happens? What's our plan if we're in like an overflow situation over a peak period, and that person who's prepaid drives in and there's literally no space for them?
And so you're talking in our main lot and not the overflow lot?
Correct.
So, correct me if I'm wrong.
It would save a spot.
My understanding is that a spot is literally saved.
How do we literally save that spot? Do we send Jeremy down and he said,
how do you guys?
Well, it's always good to have a Jeremy.
It is great.
There's lots of Jeremys.
So yeah, I mean, that would need to be addressed here and analyzed how you guys want to do that with your lots here. I mean, you could gate between the lots as an option. But yeah, right now with the free flow, it's something that needs to be planned out. But to address the the reduction in labor concerns. At Ontario, we went cashless and cashierless in a few airports across the country. We turned those cashiers into roving ambassadors. So it was we didn't have any reduction in labor at any of our airports, and we put them in vehicles, drive around, and it's added security around the lots too, extra set eyes for everything. So if there are any questions, if a customer hits the intercom button, we're able to respond immediately to them. So from an operations standpoint, it's been a better customer experience.
I guess a relevant question for management is, are we at or near, in your best assessment, the end of the useful life of our current system?
Well, yes. So considering they're 10 years old as of this year, and our desert environment, they do seem to be at the end of the life. And I work closely with ABM now, and quite, I don't want to say this, more frequently than I care. They do have equipment that's gone down, and it seems to be pretty much on a weekly basis that's been happening.
What's the timeline for implementing this system?
Typically, would be 3 months to get the equipment. We do pre-staging in our facility in Van Nuys, so that everything is configured so that once we're on site to do the installation, we're not closing lanes down for long periods of time, so there's not a big inconvenience on your patrons. But yeah, that whole period is about a 3 month.
So we go to council next month with this if we recommend this, they approve it, and then we're 3 to 4 months out for executing this. Is that right?
Yes.
Other questions?
Commissioner Martin, your hand was up.
Yeah, my question was answered with Commissioner Hendrick.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
I said my question had been answered. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just kind of go back to Ken's point. I guess I assumed we had already gone through a process. I mean, Daniel was on this selection committee, that we did a justification for upgrading or doing the new system. Has that not happened? Did we not do a financial analysis and justify the need to do this? And now we're here after that process to bring who the selection is and what that contract looks like. I'm trying to understand the process of where we're at with that, because I would assume we've already justified it and we've all saw that, and I don't remember seeing it, but
it's kind of new news to us.
Yes.
Now, I'm really happy that you were part of this process, and I'm sorry it was so arduous, but yeah, if we're a little caught off guard, it's because we never knew this was going on. And
we've been talking about this for, I don't know, ever since I've been here for the last few years. It's always been a point of the commission to have a new parking system, to upgrade the technology, to get new equipment, to improve the guest experience, to provide more amenities. And that has been the main, thing behind getting a new park system, because we knew the current system was starting to age out and get older. So we have been kind of working behind the scenes with this for a while.
Customer comments, we do get requests about how to make reserved parking here quite frequently. So people are wanting that. There's also been times I remember ABM, he said when the power goes out, this will operate for how long on battery power?
30 to 45 minutes.
And it was about a year ago, we had the power go out and people were stuck for like an hour before you get them out of the gate. So it stopped that as well.
So this was to try to help some of the complaints too. This was a hot spot for us. So I do not know about a financial analysis. I'm not sure Victoria did that, but we can always come back at some point to give you that. But it wasn't so much a revenue thing. It was more of a customer convenience thing, and try to meet part of our strategic initiatives with improved technology.
But isn't that, I guess I'm looking at just maybe mainly from a process standpoint, right? I mean, we're looking at spending some pretty big dollars to make this happen, right? CapEx wise. We should be taking a look at that
and understand this is the investment we want to make because of this is getting older. It's more convenient for our passengers. This is something we want to do. And it sounds like there was discussions about that, but it wasn't sort of concise in some sort of presentation that we all could look at and say, okay, let's thumbs up, let's do this. That, am I wrong with that? Or that's sort of where I'm coming from, and just having expected that already to have been done to where we're at today.
Yeah, it would have been helped us give ahead.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm also concerned. I do a lot. I've been traveling almost every other weekend up north. The parking lot now, the parking lot situation, A, B, and C, there's cars parked everywhere. I mean, you go out there right now, there are cars parked everywhere. So I would really be upset, after I paid my $56 or whatever it is, for 2 days, searching 20 minutes or 30 minutes for some place to park my car that was legal or even illegal, theoretically. I don't know if we have a setup yet, a procedure to guarantee the person who's paid ahead to find a spot.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have some time to figure that out. We don't, and correct me if we're wrong, we don't have to immediately roll out the reservation. We can put the stuff in place, open it like it is today, which gives us some time if we haven't had some time already while we're waiting for the equipment to work out those processes and procedures. So
I think in fairness, I mean, this is light years ahead of where we are today. So, I mean, the signage, everything, I mean, I think it's just you're getting a reaction because this hasn't been socialized with this group. So I understand it's kind of hitting us a little cold here, but relative to what we have today,
this is fantastic.
Yeah, this is great. And knowing that you were part of this process makes me more comfortable with moving this forward. It's $700,000 advertised over 7 years. If that's the average thing is, that's reasonable to consider the functionality we're going to get out of this thing that we don't have today here. So just in terms of the customer experience, is that worth that money? Yeah, for $100,000 a year to take it to a whole different level. But I do think we're going to take some time to work through this reservation thing. If we could figure it out, it'd be incredible. Because, if you're tight coming into a situation like you're coming here for a couple of days and you're tight trying to get into the airport, you can't find a space and you wind up way the hell out of here. I mean, all of us find this just coming to meetings here. It's hard to find a space. We can figure that out. If the system allows us to figure that out somehow, that would be a great improvement here. So we have to walk before we run with the system, but it's light years ahead of what we have now.
So it is, we were discussing this early on, looking at the scope. I wasn't on the review, but I did help with the scope and some guest experience things on there. As he mentioned earlier, if we took people, the cashiers up and gave them other jobs, they could be out there directing people, hey, pulling in, spots are open in D, C, A, B, go straight there. Possibly even buy some golf carts that are large, carry luggage. They bring the D-Lus to help people get to the terminals without walking as far. They could do duties like that. That could be an add-on. We could do down the road.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Please.
Just looking at the recommendation, it says that the $651,000 is for an initial 5-year term. So it's not, is it really going to be amortized over 7 years? It sounds like we're going to be paying $700,000 over 5 years. And then I would assume another contract services agreement to start up for another 5 years. Is that more accurate?
Oh, go ahead. You probably know more than that.
Yeah, so the 651 you mentioned is just for the parks equipment itself, plus the 5-year maintenance. And then the additional I think it's around $43,000 is for the reservation system plus the annual maintenance costs.
Right. So just because it's over 5 years, that's where the city caps us on the agreement, but that doesn't mean that we can't. There's probably, I'm sure, some sort of extension in there. That doesn't mean that it's CapEx over just 5 years. We could CapEx it over how many years the city decides to amortize it. That's just the agreement to maintain the equipment is the 5 years.
And if I could just add a little bit more, because we're adding license plate recognition, there is a lot of civil and electrical work that it encompasses that. So that's not just for the park system, that's for the park system and all the civil work that's going to happen to, provide the best user experience. So it's not just the parks, it's a lot of civil and electrical work.
I
It's
have to
actually
think
pretty
the
good
police,
deal.
I have to believe the police department would be supportive of this, just in terms of their license plate recognition, just managing any of the crime problems we have here.
So we work with a lot of municipalities in California, and they utilize license plate recognition for a lot of prosecution for vandalism and those type of activities. It is a big benefit, and it does provide additional security just from people knowing that there are cameras there. It's a deterrent.
Couple things, and one question first with you.
Sure.
Let's say with the license plate, could we design something with this that would say, hey, I'm a frequent user, so I'd like to buy a package of 20 parking spots, and maybe the city, the airport can give them a 10% discount.
Yep.
Is that possible?
Yeah, so I referred to our pay per use, but it could be set up that way. So yeah,
and what I'm getting at is that I see this as, and I understand the process in the front end that maybe, have been, a lot of us didn't understand or know what was going on with this, but I appreciate our fellow commissioner that was on this. But I see this as a 10-year replacement of something that's antiquated, that's old, that's out of style. It's time to do this. And you just in this conversation, we just found out another option of customer experience we could do. And I think the airport has had this traditional 3 large parking spots or whatever, parking lots that you drive for. We got, drive back and forth all over the place. That should we in fact designate one as a reserve only one and consider that, so it gets staff creative thinking, which they don't have to jump into, and then they'll work on this and they'll come back to us and say, hey, the first one is going to be reserved parking, and it's going to have assigned parking or however many spots. And once that thing is full, it says, no, you can't reserve one because it's full. So you got to go over here. And that can happen, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't see, other than we probably would have preferred to, have a little bit of knowledge of this at the front end. I'm cool with this. So I think I'd make a motion that we approve this.
Do I have a second?
Oh, well, I'll be quiet then. Go ahead. I thought it was going the other way, so.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this.
Go ahead.
And Commissioner Young, you said it. You said it down there. Our current equipment is into use. We can all agree with that. Now we have to go through the process of replacing it. And we went through an RFP process, very robust, vigorous. It was close. And I think the fact that Skedadders, who we currently have, they're a proven entity, they're bringing a better product. It was, and oftentimes we get on staff for moving too slow. Here we're on you for moving too fast.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you again for your work on this thing. Okay, we have a motion on the table. We have a second. So please.
Yes.
Caldwell,
Have to abstain.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Evansteiner,
Yes.
Pond,
Aye.
Hedrick,
Aye.
Keel,
Aye.
Martin,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Tanaka,
Yes.
Stoffler,
Yes.
Valdez,
No.
Lost,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
All right, it passes. For those of you in the marketing committee, this is another advertising opportunity for paying for the thing downstairs. Yes. We'll explain that in our next piece.
Is it too late to ask one more question?
Please.
The license plate recognition, does it recognize the new electronic license plate?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question too?
It has 2 different cameras in it. License plate recognition has been advancing very rapidly, especially with a lot of the new advancements with AI technology. So we're currently working off of just the license plate characters. So it's got two cameras in it. One is infrared, and one is a color camera. Both are lit, so we get a good image, whether it's bright sunlight or pitch black, whether it's the white reflective plate or the black non-reflective plate. So we have very specifically picked this one camera for its flexibility, its functionality, and its robustness. What is great about having the two cameras is with the color camera, we actually get an overview of the vehicle. So we're working on the advancements of not just recognizing license plates, but actually recognizing vehicles. So there's recognition on the color, the make, the model, and that's just a additional functionality that is to come.
Thank you. Any comments from the public?
I think Commissioner Martin had a question, and then after that, I think for process, we'll let Commissioner Martin ask his question and then move on to the next item. That's what my recommendation would be.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Mine it's not really a question. I was kind of a reluctant yes, just because I don't think we had a presentation that was helpful in terms of the financial aspects of this purchase request. And I would just ask going forward that staff would make sure we have a slide or two that outlines the financial terms and the cost benefit, just so that we actually know what we're actually approving.
Duly noted. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that. All right, ready to move forward? Marketing.
Here's a public comment. Mr. Paul Feeney.
Paul Feeney. Paul, welcome.
Hi. I just had feedback on the license plate reader stuff. The city uses the Flock license plate reader program, and it is good for law enforcement, but it's got a lot of concerns around privacy and how that data is shared with other jurisdictions. I would just ask that the board recommend that the staff very tightly control who has access to that data and under what conditions it would be released to law enforcement. Knowing that data, once it is handed over to law enforcement, if it makes it into that Flock system, that it could travel. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate your comment. Okay, marketing. Another comment.
I had experience just last week with an airport that's using a similar system. What about when you can't get a receipt? And I needed a paper receipt right then and there. So there was no other people around. There was no one in it. There were no booths anymore. It's just this. What do you do then?
So if the device does not provide you a receipt, I know this operation is fully staffed, so you could always press the intercom. They could either print off from the system a receipt of your transaction. They could have one emailed to you or provided in some other method, but the system would be able to look up your transaction and provide you a receipt.
Yes, I heard other people on the way into the airport. There was another place where you could pay for your parking right there, but we paid on the way out.
Sure.
Now, this is just a general question. If we already have those where the people are sitting now taking the money, can those stations be put in there and then you already have the overhead?
Oh, built into the booth?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually we do that quite a bit. We do DFW Airport and some of those exit terminals are built in. So yeah, that could always
Because the commissioner over there had said about the sun coming in, and then if you're facing south and those stations are going to be facing south, you're going to be blinded. You're not going to be able to see the screen. So that was just a thought while he was talking. Thank you.
Thanks for your comment. Okay, we're moving on. Marketing.
Yep. Okay. So in the spirit of just transparency and continuing to share where we are in the process with regards to the Arrivals Club downstairs diffuse project. Marketing committee spent about 45 minutes essentially confirming alignment. I want to say we covered really 3 key areas. The first was the Fuse team had shared a design update, a very minor one, but it addressed a security concern that we had. So I think as you all recall in our last meeting, we saw the design images, everybody was 2 thumbs up, let's continue that path forward. There was one tiny adjustment, which I think is going to be beneficial for all of us and for our partners in the future. And that is they're going to enclose kind of a small wall that was open, that was very difficult to see, so that we would have closet space. And that's going to, I think, benefit a lot of the folks who are going to be reaching out to for activation. So as you can see, here's the design just for a quick refresher. In that very, very far kind of upper, in the middle of the piece.
It was the next, it was the,
Next
maybe the
piece.
slide after that.
There it is. Okay. You see where the red circle is? So that was currently an open space. And the concern the team had, and rightfully so, is you lose visibility there. So the idea is let's create a wall and a door, and that whole kind of back section becomes storage. Okay. So that was one very, very minor tweak. The second piece we talked about were potential paths to sponsorship. And I think kind of reconfirming the initial objective, which was let's move forward quickly and efficiently, but also create this so that there's a lot of flexibility as we engage community partners. We decided as a group, the marketing committee, to move forward with a path where Palm Springs, PSP, and Fuse would basically drive this process. So in lieu of finding one presenting sponsor, which, to their credit, had somebody lined up that was ready to cover the CapEx, but the concern was that would not provide the flexibility that this group agreed that we wanted to have in that space moving forward. The second piece, the second option to consider was multiple partners, but again, that would delay the timeline on this build out as you have multiple chiefs in the kitchen, so to speak. It just wouldn't be very quick, and it might not lend itself to potential activation partners in the future. So we went back to really what we had talked about last meeting, and that is PSP with the Fuse direct investment. That's a conversation we've had. They are continuing to align with us as a good partner, good stewards, and they are committed to, helping us make this happen. So I think with that, we agreed, let's move forward with the design that we saw with that minor adjustment, and they're going to continue to work on building this out. Now, the one piece, and it's nice to see Scott here, so thank you, as we call on you nicely and say, okay, our colleagues across the street at the city, we're going to be knocking on your door fairly soon to see if we can get these plans approved fairly quickly. I know that we have August is a concern because we're going to be down several staff members, team members across the street. So the Fuse team knows they need to kind of work quickly and efficiently to get this done.
Get it through planning.
On the planning side. And really the final piece, which I think was the most encouraging, and you guys can correct me if I didn't hear everything and if I'm not summarizing this fully, is that the Fuse team has already talked to several potential sponsors who are excited to participate and be a part of this activation. And to Kevin and Todd's credit, if we build it, they will come. I think you are the poster child for that with regards to the Plaza Theater. So, given the breadth and connections that we have at this table, we don't think that there's going to be an issue finding sponsors and folks who will want to raise their hand and have activations and really be a part of this space. So that was the summary that I have. Is there anything else that you think we discussed that the group should hear?
The only thing is that, we had, our goal was to have this ready to rock on April 1st. And now with this and some of the changes that we've made, the more realistic date now is September. And so assuming we get help across the street through the planning process, we're now looking for a grand opening in September. The good news, however, is we're gonna activate that space with a couple sponsors during Coachella. And they have some other ideas that will utilize that space while we're finishing the design of this thing and the construction documents and all that stuff. So it'll also give us a chance to see how the space works. And we have some experience from Coachella last year, but this sponsor that they've sold a deal for April, is going to bring in their own furniture and other stuff. We're going to be able to see how the space works. So while we're working on the architectural design, getting through planning and getting construction ready to go, we'll be activating that space. And September now is our forecast for grand opening. And we still haven't named it, but that's another thing. We'll come back, put our thinking hats on and get some sexy name for the thing and name it as well.
Do we market for specific groups? Like in March, we have the tennis tournament. And then
That's the idea.
in April, we have-
That was the whole point, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and Phil's looking for the potential revenue.
Yeah.
We looked at all of it. Modernism, that film festival, whatever. We're like, if each group kicks in $10,000 to promote during their month, we will totally exceed the $75,000 annual revenue target. So, and that's why we wanted to have the flexibility vis-a-vis giving it to one person for 5 years and then losing that space forever. Yeah, that's cool. Anything else on that? Daniel, we turn it over to you for anything else.
Sure. Do you want me to do my typical marketing report?
Please.
Okay, so item 7G, if you guys want to skip ahead of your packet. So good news, February passenger, we were up 1.2%. Even though February had some weather issues, we sort of to come out ahead of February 2025. You guys remember we were down in January because of the massive weather concerns around the country, delaying and canceling a lot of flights. Canadian traffic though, we do continue to see a decline though, 20.9% year over year for the month of February, and passengers arriving on Canadian Airlines. So just to reiterate, it's not just Canadian, just people who are flying in on a Canadian based carrier. So if a Canadian comes in on a US based carrier, I don't have that data specifically. So Canadian originating flights, looking ahead, April's down 9.5%, but the same it was last month, about 0.6 flights per day. May's down 45%. Or actually about one flight a day, because May we go down to just Calgary and Vancouver for year-round service, and we lose 3 of our Canadian cities that one. So you take out one flight a day, and it's a pretty big percentage. June's about 16% down in Canadian arriving flights, or about 0.13 flights per day. On the domestic side, April's down 3.1%, but if you remember, we were expecting that because last year during Hotel and Stagecoach, airlines got a little overzealous with their scheduling, and so they told us this April they would be pulling back, so that is expected. May's down just slightly, 20%, 37 flights for the month. June's up, scheduled currently 6.2% in seats, or 107 more flights than last June before. And I think I have a typo in there, sorry on that one, but we are up in June, so I have a negative. Ignore that. Total seats, domestic and international. April's down 4.2%. We're still kind of tracking, we're still tracking ahead of 2024. May's currently down 3.8%, but still tracking ahead of where we were in 2024. June, I'm excited to see is up 5%. July's up 11.4%. If you guys remembered, we shifted our advertising strategy last year to really focus on pushing flying from Palm Springs in the summertime to create more summer lift. Reminding people you can get anywhere in the world from Palm Springs. You don't have to go to LAX. Sorry, Ken. But it's great that airlines we had, if you guys remember the passenger numbers from last summer, it was one of our best summers on record for passenger counts. We are having some success there, so we're going to continue our efforts to remind people that you can get anywhere from Palm Springs in the summertime. Another good little increase. So Portland season has been running 3 times a day. In the summertime, it's running 2 times a day. But this coming summer, Alaska Airlines is going to bump up, going back to 3 times daily in September instead of October. So we'll have an additional 30 flights in the month of September to Portland with connection options out of Portland as well, which is good for us. And just the next slide, just your seasonal end dates, just an update on when each seasonal route is going to be ending this coming summer. And then on the guest experience, so one thing I'm excited about, we've been working on, as I mentioned at the December strategy meeting. Oh, hey, it's up there. Thank you. We are talking about doing, we're currently working on a website update for Title II for the ADA compliant for visually impaired. Part of that, we also secured a direct API feed from Aerocloud, which is our flight information provider. And we were able to take what was on there. What we first had was their widget, which had very small font. You couldn't sort. It was actually kind of difficult to use. We'd actually got complaints on it. We were able to send it to our website developer and completely rebuild the flight status page to what we wanted it to be. So if you're looking at it, you can actually now filter by flight, airline, city, or date. custom sorting by time, city, individual, or all airlines, however you want to start on there. You can access earlier, later flights for today and the next day, up to another 24 hours in advance, giving you more capability to see flights we had before. And one of my favorite things is real-time, live updated, color-coded status tracking. So there's now a bar on there that'll say in flight estimated 37 minutes until it lands, which is kind of a fun little feature on there. And then also this new one, we had to integrate with code shares to display partner flight numbers. So Alaska now will see there on a Hawaiian Airlines show, if it has a Hawaiian Airlines code on it, or American Airlines code, or the code share partners, or British Airways, whoever's code sharing with a particular airline. So if somebody from another country is, bought the ticket on British, but they're flying on American, they're still going to flip through. They can see, oh, this is a BA flight, it's American, and they'll be able to help find their flight. So that's a new guest experience thing we've updated to the website. That'll be rolling over to the new fully ADA compliant website in late next month when we launch that. Some other things that you guys saw is a clear e-gate for install. I think we've mentioned that before. And also the TSA touchless ID is now active here in the airport. Helps getting through. It's fully biometric. You don't have to pull out an ID. I don't have Clear, but I have used TSA touchless in Orlando when I was there about a month ago. And the regular pre-check line was showing a 15-minute wait. And I went to the touchless one. I was the only person. I was through in 1 minute. It was great.
Sign up for it. I was here last week and I thought I was already in the system, and
so
how do
you have to go into your airline, your account for your airline. So when I was on America on this flight, I had to go through. When I went to go check in, they actually asked me if I wanted to enroll in touchless ID. So you have your known traveler number or your global entry number in there. You go into your frequent flyer account, and then you select to be in it. So you have to opt into with that particular airline. You have to do it with every airline you're flying on. So just FYI.
You only have to do it once. Interesting.
Yeah. Once you do one, that's in there. And then just community engagement. I know several of you guys came up to our Chamber of Mixer last month, and that was a success. I think it was a great time. We had a lot of positive feedback. I hope those of you who attended really enjoyed it. Those who weren't able to make it, we partnered with Palm Springs Chamber of Commerce and the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce, and had a lot of business owners and just area decision makers out to learn about capital improvement programs, how to do business with PSP, how to bid on our projects, air service development, why it's important to fly local, and then also how they were able to meet folks with our retail shops and learn how to get some of their locally made products into the shops here at the airport. So that was a good time. I was excited we were able to do that, and that is the end of my report. Any questions?
Questions, please.
You anticipate next winter more people that used to go to Mexico because of what happened in Puerto Vallarta? We have a lot of city pairs together.
I know. That I don't know. I personally, I have seen some of my friends on Facebook. They're already back down. They're going on vacation. So I feel like it's kind of back to normal, but I haven't heard any news like that before. Now, when we get the temporary FIS built, and I have some airlines I could be interested in that, then yeah, I'd probably get more for you. Yes.
Besides being my personal favorite presentation every month.
Thank you.
Would it be possible? I know we do like seasonal end dates. Would it be possible to have something that says what's remaining? Somewhere?
Oh, you want it the year round?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. Add year round. Yeah, so we actually do, and just for fun, if you ever need it, or if anybody asks you while you're out and about how they can figure that out, on our website, flypsp.com, you can go on there to the airlines and flights section, and there's a route map you can filter by seasonal and year round as well. And it has a drop down for all the airlines, which ones are seasonal, and we always try to update with their keep it updated with their seasonal end dates and return dates, which sometimes feel like a moving target, but we try to check them every couple of weeks and update them. So
thank you. During the chamber event, we had this duo that was performing, and it was really interesting to see people's reaction to have music in that space. And I reached out and asked if we could do something during Coachella. And I know he's not with us today, but is there an update on that idea?
We talked about today. Just FYI, he's feeling under the weather, so I let him. He's on Zoom, but I sent him home because we didn't, But yeah, no, we haven't. We just started talking about it a little bit today, and we'll look into it. I think it's a great idea. It was a really great, just kind of like background ambiance in that little area we put them up. That was perfect for it. So, I guess we're thinking more like, do you want just us, the airport, directly to do it, or maybe more? I want to do it. Let me get a plan together and get back to you. How's that?
So the idea was on the high volume dates during Coachella, we would have music on those 4 hours, minimum, maybe more. 4 hours, have live music in it, and just see how it goes. For years we've talked about doing this and just having that whole welcoming thing where there's music and whatever. I think there's a DJ that we're thinking about that could do it. And we'll start it with 2 days where we have the most traffic coming in. And Jake had said Thursday is the day, the 2 Thursdays. So we're just try it and see. And because it was really interesting just to see, during this chamber event, see people's reaction to it. There's a space to do it for $500. Let's give it a shot and see. So
yeah, last year we did have during Pride, DJ Mod Girl in conjunction with KG was out. We've had her in the back clamp. So the idea we'd actually talk about is getting her to come out. And then when Keith earlier during the marketing committee meeting mentioned that Neutrogena was going to do an activation, they actually thought about having a DJ maybe as part of theirs. But they are going to be, there's activations in the bag claim, so it's not the courtyard. But there are some options that we can consider.
Go for it.
Okay.
Other comments or questions? We good?
Comment?
The public want to chat about it? Okay, we're good. Let's move on to 7C. The strategic plan, the quarterly update, please.
Hello, corporate and commissioners. You're all being here today. I'm Jason Hodges, PSP's Innovation and Strategy Administrator. So today I'm going to give an update on the implementation of PSP's strategic plan and some of the progress that we've made across the organization so far. So as many of you know, for several years, we have experienced some record growth here at PSP, and they guided through that growth. The Airport Commission, along with the executive team, at the end of 2024, developed a 5-year strategic plan that we were getting out of 2025. The goal was to create a clear direction for the airport that aligns with operational decisions, investment partnerships, while supporting long-term airport master plan. And just to kind of realign everybody with the PSP's vision, mission, and some of our organizational values. Our vision remains the same, describes where we are headed as an airport and as a gateway to the region. We aspire to be an iconic airport that passionately connects those friendly Palm Springs to the world. Our main focus is on experience. We talk a lot about this every day, that we want to move guests with unforgettable hospitality with everything that we do. So just to kind of recap, I know that you guys all worked very hard on this and created quite the work for me back in 2024 by creating 48 specific initiatives that we've been working towards spread across 5 different priorities. So we have the people and culture, operational excellence, partnerships, infrastructure, and sustainability. But just kind of diving in straight with people and culture, this is one of our top priority focuses for PSP and the workforce while strengthening engagement across the organization. One area of progress has been expanding the aviation career awareness and creating opportunities for students to learn about career aviation. Over the past year, we've hosted several organizations and done tours with local colleges, local schools, to kind of just give them a perspective of what it's like on a day-to-day of the aviation career. We've also been developing a structured internship program. Harry has been his diligence and worked very hard on creating a detailed syllabus that we're currently actively speaking with city HR to roll out our first internship program, hopefully by this summer as a short summer program, and then looking to expand that for a longer program later in the fall semester. Another focus has been just strengthening the employee engagement. We just completed our annual engagement survey. So we're currently compiling those results, and part of our initiative for the strategic plan is to host a town hall style discussion to review those results with everyone. We've also been supporting professional development opportunities. So several of the PSP team and city partners from different organizations were able to take part in a Disney training last year, which really honed in on the next level of hospitality that we're looking to achieve here PSP. And then finally, our CARES program is an initiative that has strengthened the connections throughout the PSP organization with our tenants. Staff has participated in several different initiatives, including blood drives, food drives, animal shelter support, participation in the Pride Parade, and many other initiatives that they are currently working on for 2026. Operational excellence, focusing on just ensuring the PSP continues to operate safely and efficiently while improving the overall guest experience. One of our major milestones was the full approval of our SMS safety management that got FAA approved this year, or in the last year, this year. So that's rolled out, and it's a significant effort that was led by Josue, and it just establishes a formal framework for managing the safety across the entire airport with all of our partners. From a security standpoint, we also upgraded the employee screening equipment, so we have some new scanning equipment there, and we're also currently updating the airport's overall security plan to just ensure that day-to-day safety measures remain aligned. Another important area of progress is just improving the overall guest experience. Daniel has worked very tirelessly with the guest experience plan that we reviewed in our December strategic planning meeting. And many of the things that he's done has checked off my to-do list of the strategic plan. So I thank him on the daily for all the efforts that he and his team have made towards the guest experience. We also, which we'll hear from Christina a little bit later, adopted a new art program that was focused around just also improving the overall guest experience. So I'm not gonna give too much updates on that because Christina will get those, but it is implemented and looking forward to a May implementation of our first thing. And then just from an overall operational perspective, we've made several other improvements just impacting the passenger journey here. So as you heard earlier, one of the things is we completed the RFP for the we're excited that we're going to roll that on to the city for approval. And then we briefly touched on it about the e-gates for Clear. Those have increased the dwell time for those premium passengers who are paying the Clear membership. They can get through in a little over 6 seconds for the verification process. The queuing process, but just the verification process. So a big win for the guest experience there. Next up is partnerships. So one area of progress that we're improving is just the coordination with our tenants. We meet with them quarterly. We've been meeting with them monthly just to align with policies, upcoming projects that we're working on, performance, and this is exchanging best practices across all the organizations. We've also worked to improve transparency around the airport projects to just help the community stay more informed and involved. We created the Progress PSP that is active on the website, so you can always go in and check what we're looking at doing and where we're at on most projects. Another important milestone that PSP's economic impact study rolled out last year. This study showed that PSP supports over 8,000 jobs and helped generate over $382 million in tax revenue and produced an overall impact of $2.5 billion for fiscal year 2024. So let me just repeat, that is $1 billion that PSP helped support. This study was very important. We rolled it out to the community and you all. We are looking to refresh the 2025 results, so those will come towards the end of the summer, around the same time that this 2024 report came out. But we are under obligation for 2025 and 2026 for that study. And then we continue to just expand the outreach in the Valley. Jake does a great job of getting out to several of the council meetings and just one reviewing part of our master plan, our strategic plan, and just where we're at. Yeah. Infrastructure, this is a biggie. We have a lot happening and we couldn't do it without Ryan's team. So our capital development team, they're involved in everything, and without them, we would not be an airport. So one of the expansions that we're currently working on is the baggage handling system. So they were out there drilling holes yesterday, I think, and then starting to really move some dirt on things today. So we'll see that one continue to be fleshed out. From an air side perspective, we have completed the runway analysis. That is also currently under the review process, of which actions that we'll move forward with on that. We're also moving forward with replacement escalators, as most of you all know. So that project is moving right along. And then several other projects that we're just working on improving the environment. So thinking about just the design phase of the Bono and the courtyard restrooms, we're at 100% design phase of that project. And then we've also started the shade structure project that will be over for the TNCs. All right, and then to finish it out, sustainability. This is one that PSP continues to focus on reducing the environmental impact while supporting responsible long-term growth. While the strategic plan originally anticipated aiming for a dedicated sustainability administrator, the executive team, we have evaluated the best structure to kind of support that work moving forward. So it could involve us looking at consultants that we already have a scope with, that we could use some of their services for, or just realign some of the internal team to help support that one dedicated role that we were looking at. Even as the structure is being evaluated, we have continued to make the progress on several sustainability projects. One of which is we have purchased 8 electric vehicles for our maintenance team. So those are currently, some of them are over at the city yard getting outfitted for the lights and all the things that they have to be airside ready for. So we should have those rolling out within the coming weeks. We are also nearing completion of the installation of 80 level 2 EV chargers in our lot out here. So that's going to be a huge impact for our travelers or guests. Hopefully we work that into our reservation system somehow and look at some potential revenue actions from that investment. And then, we're just continuing to put an effort on our tenants. They have several different initiatives internally that they all operate off of. So wherever we can plug into their initiatives, we're being a good partner in supporting. Yeah. So with that, we made it through all 5. I promised Jeremy 10 minutes. I don't think I made it. So I'm opening it up to some questions.
And please.
So going back to the runway analysis, are we going to have to replace the runway?
I am going to defer that question to our capital development expert. Right.
Replace the runway? It's kind of a trick question. Yeah. It does need repairs. So there will be a rehabilitation. And that is the latest direction, the latest guidance that we're getting from the community.
I think what we're doing right now in the study is we were given a lot of different options and avenues of what we could go with, right? So we just want to make sure that we're analyzing that with all of our partners and making the right choices.
Other questions, please.
Big proponent of internships. Will those internships be for high school kids or college kids?
At this current program, it's focused on college, but we do have it marked to where we can kind of incorporate some extra learning for high school students.
Well, is it internship paid?
Yes.
Cool. Yes. Awesome. Great. And on your engagement survey, what percentage of employees returned that survey?
Have we got that final calculation yet from us? Like, we just ended it 2 weeks ago, so I don't think that we have the final numbers yet, but
we were getting quite a bit, actually.
I mean, were we at least over 50%, do you think?
I can't speak to it. I can report back. We were pushing it hard on everyone, so we're hopefully get some good results.
Okay.
But yeah, once we compile all of the findings, we'll include.
Yeah, I think it's important to get as many people, employees as you can to respond to those surveys. And the responses isn't always good sometimes, but that's an opportunity for improvement. That's the way I see it.
Huge.
But if you're getting less than 50%, that tells you something right off the bat, right? So people are scared, they don't think their voice is being heard, and there's a lot of ways to interpret that. So that's why I'm curious as to what your percentage of improvement was.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, we'll report back.
Thank you.
I don't mean to step on Harmon's presentation, but since it's in here, I'm going to ask. Landside shade structure project, when will it be done?
I can provide updates. So currently, the good news is that we are going to the HSPB board on April 7th on their meeting. So in that meeting, what they're going to do is they're going to make some recommendation. They'll take a motion. So we'll come back and bring it to the commissions in front of you. Once everything is a green light, we'll start towards the implementing of the project. So currently, one of the biggest not the hurdle, but one of the biggest push was to take it in front of the HSPB board, and we are happy to announce that we're going in April.
And assuming they say yes, how long before we have shade structures?
The good thing is that the shade structure, if they pick those are the USA shade that we have used in the past. So I don't see personally any lead item on that. So they're readily available. Once we have input from them and we have the final design per their input and their ways of doing, we can get back to our general contractor and get you guys the timeline once we have that. I don't see personally long lead time, but we'll be transparent.
So will we have it in the summer?
If that's the goal, we'll try our best to have it in the summer if everything is in our reach.
When would the electric EV chargers be operational?
Yes, so last week we have a kickoff meeting. Currently, the general contractor will be pulling the permit from across the street. The good thing is that the permit is ready to be pulled. One operational challenge is seasonality. We are in the most busiest time of the year. Internally, between our staff and land side, we are engaging to look at outside the box. If we can, I think the biggest challenge is to have that lot available for the general contractor to come and install. So we are actually actively, this morning we had some emails exchange. My goal is next week we'll go over there with our land side team to see if we can start barricading individual parking lots. So the answer to your question is I don't see a long lead item for the general contractor. The long lead item is securing the lot. And we are working concurrently with all the departments here to make sure how we can do it.
Okay. All right. Other questions? You don't have to say this again. I'm going to church.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Keeping it on the EV side, is there going to be a requirement for somebody using the EV spot to actually be connected?
Yeah, so we once they are all installed, I think we have some kind of protocols or guidelines for how to use them. We are also looking at, and that's more like a land side operations question, but I can happy to answer. We're also looking at, do we need 80 EV chargers on a slow season? Will they be like just empty all the time? Can we put some covers on them? So we are looking into all the options. I think once the installation is done, I think then we went to a phase of operations. How are we going to bring it on? What month of the year we'll bring it on? What the strategies are? We also talk to our technology partner, who's the company that we are purchasing from. If they have some technology that after a certain amount of time, the charging won't be happening. But these are questions that we have to just start operating them and live with it.
Yep.
Just for awareness, before these 80 EV chargers, we I think have like 2 or 4 on the, well, 2 of them. So we are going from 2, which are like 10 years old, to 80. So I think we all learn, so it's going to be a learning experience, but I'm pretty sure that with the expertise we have, with land side, also with hearing from ski data in the parks, if there could be a partnership in technology and in operations, we'll definitely look into that.
Good. Thank you.
Martin, your hand is up. Did you have a question?
Yeah, going back to the strategic plan broadly, it's my sense that the passenger traffic has relatively plateaued over the last few years at about 3.3 million, plus or minus 100,000 here or there. How does the potential risk factor of a plateau or decline in passenger traffic affect our strategic plan as well as the airport master plan? What is the threshold to say, okay, now we have to reconsider the airport master plan?
I think that would be a great question for us to evaluate in the commission meeting to raise some red flags when we get there. Or hopefully we would never get there. But the initiatives that we currently have set, there are some that, are infrastructure based. But a lot of it is just, how we do business, whether it's, growing by 3% or growing by 30%. It's just operating more efficiently and better. So from a strategic plan, I don't know if it would have a lot of impact. Now, obviously the master plan would be a little bit different. And I would probably ask for other people in the room to speak on that one. That would be my perspective from the strategic. It's just how we're operating more efficiently.
Okay. I think that we just need to kind of watch the projections, because we're going to invest a lot of money in that master plan. And so far, the last few years, I haven't seen the growth that we were hoping for in the master plan.
Well, I thought our plan was based on 3% a year growth year over year. And that's pretty much.
We haven't grown 10% over the last 3 years.
3%.
I thought it was 3% year
Per
over
year.
year.
Yeah, per year. So cumulatively over the last 3 years, that would be roughly 10%.
Oh, it is zero.
I just
It's zero.
the demand signal has always been my concern in terms of the master plan, and I just want to make sure that we are not overbuilding or over committing the airport to infrastructure. If, like many other airports in the country, they're seeing declining traffic year over year since the pandemic.
Yeah, it's a good point. We just brought on Accenture, our program management firm. So they're going to be really looking at that pretty heavily and working with the leadership team to, make sure we're not going to overbuild and make sure we make the right choices. So.
Okay, so that's kind of outside of the strategic planning process?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks.
I traveled this weekend, Tracy, and I was out of the Agua Caliente concourse. I mean, there was like 12 or 14 jets over there, and I'm thinking, God, we are busting at the seams. My sense of it is the first phase seems pretty solid, just based on what we look at today. And how many people I've heard from the last month who've been stuck in the tarmac, they can't get in because the gates aren't available. So my sense is that the forecast may influence our phase 2 and phase 3 expansion, but short term, we are busted at the seams. So I think we may be tracking, I think it's right to be tracking our forecast moving forward, but I'm feeling, pretty solid about phase 1, which is what adding another 7 or 8 gates plus the international service and everything else we've talked about. But long term, I think it's a good question. We should continue to monitor it. But boy, it just feels like we are just busting at the seams right now based on where we are.
I hear you, Kevin, and I think it's just a matter of whether financially the numbers still make sense at a lower traffic level than, I agree we're really short on capacity now, but it kind of, the numbers will dictate what we can afford.
No, agreed. Other questions? Thank you, Tracy. Other questions? I was also had the opportunity to go to San Francisco and Toronto too. I mean, what they've done is stunning. And, the art program, the size and the scope, and then you have a much bigger footprint than we do. Like the bathrooms were just incredible. So just a note on the bathrooms. We need to be involved in this process. We've been pushing about when are we going to see the plans and, the mystery that we have to have Gensler spend a year to give us the plans of these bathrooms. When we need to be ahead of that as a commission, because just looking at other airports and how they've done it, there are a lot of really interesting ideas on what others have done and how they've addressed this. And I just want to make sure that we don't get too far along without some input and getting our fingerprints on those plans. Because I came back with like 4 ideas and I am anxious to see if Gensler has incorporated like the latest and greatest ideas and best practices.
I think we brought them at maybe 60%, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. We can surely bring back. We can make sure. Yeah, we could do that. Possibly next meeting. We'll talk to Gensler.
All right. Other comments or questions? And again, we can deduct what we've already talked about from your presentation. So are there any comments from public?
Anybody on Zoom have a public comment? Please raise your virtual Zoom hand. No public comments.
Jason, I know we have 43 projects. Thank you for staying on top of it and then keeping us in the loop. 48. Keep pushing 48. Keep pushing. All right.
Can I just provide a little context?
Please.
My name is Trevor Daly. For those who don't know me, I work with Jeremy, with Harry, and Victoria. Harry and Victoria and Mark from my team are back in DC doing bill visits and appropriations.
Nice to know, please.
All of the capital projects. And they're meeting with Calvert's office and appropriations members and the key committees. Hearing that the comment, a lot of everything is linked to money. And the money is going to be linked to federal dollars and commitments. So part of that is making sure that things are lining up and as we move forward. So we may be moving at 2 or 3% on passengers, but we have to have the money for international travel so so it's there. And then the airlines can work with Daniel to bring those flights in. If the service is not there, the infrastructure is not there, then we can't have increased air service. So everything's connected, federal government, air service, infrastructure. And then once you have all that, the percentage is going to go up, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5 over time. And it's all about trends too.
Thank you for that. Also, while we're on this, since you're here, on April 9th, one of the things we had said was in our last meeting is it's been a while since we've done our road shows to educate the community on where we are and how we're moving forward across all these projects. So I believe it's on April 9th.
Yes.
Yeah, we're having a presentation at the Plaza Theater, open to the public to give them an update on all this. Do you have just a quick update on what that's going to be and look like?
Yes, yeah, that's going to be kind of an abbreviated version of what you just presented. And we'll do a report back on the master plan, a report back on Harry and Victoria's trip to DC, the funding. Also, escalators will be a hot topic. We're looking at everything that results to two things. One, the community that's connected to the master plan, and then the travelers. Everybody's talking about escalators, elevators, community experience, parking, things that people are frustrated with. They will be covered. The reason why we're here at the theater, we want to collaborate, get the airport to connect more with Palm Springs experiences. So we said, why don't we go to the theater? We asked Kevin. He put that together for us. It'll be great. Kevin's going to speak. Harry's going to give a presentation. If you're all able to come, that'll be wonderful. And then people can experience the great, downtown.
What time?
4 to 6. Let me double check.
Trevor, I have April 6th on my calendar.
Let me just check. Hold on one second. I was actually just typing it up. April 6th, 5 to 7 p.m.
Monday, April 6th.
April. And last thing I'll just say is that Harry and Victoria have asked me to put together a outreach plan just to double up on efforts from the entire Coachella Valley, because we did such a great job of going out with the master plan. We had over 45 meetings, Indian Wells and Indio, all throughout Palm Springs. And then it kind of went quiet because of CEQA. And people are wondering what's going on. And so we're going to get Harry out more, Jeremy out more, perhaps Daniel, Jake, and others to kind of be seen at different meetings and pop in different areas. And then also one thing I would love to do is engage all of you as commissioners in your communities and tap you into things that we're doing as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And we'll make sure all this is communicated and you'll hear more about it. All right. Any other comments from the public? Are we good? All right. Art program, Christina.
Good evening, Chairman Corcoran and Commissioners. I am happy to report that the Baggage King Columns artwork project is steadily moving forward towards the May deadline. And I'll get into that in just a moment. We had an art working group meeting on March 11th, where we discussed the timeline for the Baggage Clean Columns artwork project. Group Creative posted the open call for art on February 25th on the publicartist.org website, which they facilitate the public art application process for both the art curator and the artist. Jake from marketing publicized the open call and the link to the website on social media. And Public Arts Commission Chairman Gary Armstrong also did a email blast. He's also on the art working group. An email blast to the artists that are registered with the city to receive the open call as well. So that then the deadline was March 11th, and we received 271 artist applications. Wow. They're out there. Group Creative submitted 26 submissions to the art working group to review and rate their top 10 submissions. And based on the submitted art images, connection to Coachella Valley and the artist website and their resume, we ranked them according to what we felt best fit our art program policy. If there is a tie, the art working group will meet virtually on March 23rd to address the tie. And the top 5 artists will be invited to make a presentation to the art working group on April 22nd, and they will be paid $1,000 each in 2 payments of $500 for their concept development. And the 2 artists chosen, one for the first year and a second for the second year, on 2 years of having the column artwork. We hope to have many years, but right now we're going to start with the 2, see how it goes. They will be paid $5,000 each in 2 payments of $2,500. Last week, we evaluated the columns, the baggage claim columns, to make sure that they're going to be installation ready for the vinyl wraps. Maintenance Superintendent Jacob Coelho and Jason, Group Creative, and a local printer and myself participated in the evaluation of the columns, and the printer also provided examples of the various wrap resolutions so that we could determine what we thought would be a good resolution for the wraps. And Jeremy Holm, our attorney, assisted with creating agreement templates. We needed him to make one specific to this because we didn't want to have the agreement be too burdensome to the artists, because they, with the usual city requirements, because they're not going to be here. They're going to submit their digital art and then we take it from there. So we had Jeremy Holm assist us with that. So we have that in place. And we are working on a date for the dedication in June. Group Creative suggested before the June Airport Commission meeting. I'm not sure we're to be able to do that because we would like to have the city manager there, the mayor if possible, and or if not, or even a couple council members there to see it as well. So we'll work on that date and check everybody's availability. The art working group is looking into, and this is on another subject, the art working group is looking into an interactive art activation to celebrate World Art Day on April 15th. So we're see what our options are, what the feasibility is to do that. And the Group Creative is working on the documents for the art program handbook. And our next meeting is April 16th at 9 a.m. Any questions?
Question? Tim, any comments?
No, it's been a lot of fun. Team has done great work. It's really all of a sudden getting a little momentum, which is fun finally. But 271 is just a testament to there's a lot of interest in working with us. The 26 that they willowed it down were all real good. So I'm excited. So we look forward to it.
So I agree. Totally agree. Yeah.
Good. We'll look forward to progress and having decisions in April.
Absolutely.
Questions?
Stay on Zoom with.
Stay on Zoom.
Comment? No public comments.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Financial update, Victoria's not here. Is anybody covering for this?
Liz.
Everybody know this?
Good evening. I'm Liz Ranillo, the DSP accountant here, so I'm going to cover Victoria tonight. So I'm here to provide insight in our financials for February 2026. I don't know if you can pull up. And we start with the Fund 405, that is the CFC, Customer Facility Insurance. We have surplus of 4,004,046. I don't know. Oh, 454. Oh, sorry. I think it's not so fun like the other ones. Okay, sorry. I'm happy with the 405, but the good thing we have surplus on 405. The next one is the fund for 10 days. Passenger facility stars. We have surplus also 3,400,023,000. So you can see there it's surplus 2. The next one is the Fund 450, the airport operations and maintenance. We also has a surplus of 1,580,000, and regularly at this time of the year, with this season start, we have a deficit, but thank God we have surplus this year, so we are so happy for that. And the last one is the Fund 416, that is the one that Harman is the expert in the airport capital projects. Like we see, we have a lot of projects going right now, but we have a surplus yet with for 261 so far. And so that concludes my presentation. So you have all the presentation on your packet, and so please let me know if you have any question. So if I can answer, I do it. If no, I.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you for covering. Any comments or questions? Liz, thank you for joining us. Any questions from the public?
Any public comments, please raise your virtual Zoom hand.
All right, good. Liz, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Harmon.
Mr. Chair, I'll go over our 7 capital improvement projects. The first one is the Bono Concourse escalators. Before I give briefing about it, I just want to make the commissioners aware that our partners for Schindler, who's actually a general contractor, are also online. If there's a technical question, something we cannot answer, they're happy to assist. So some update on this project, high visibility project. So we actually approved the design and finish, which is actually a go for us to put in the queue for the procurement of it. And that means like when it goes into the production. Also, last week, the city has approved the ratification of the contract with Schindler. That means that's been worked on. We want to let the commission know that, we have, the regional team of Schindler was working with us. As we are having weekly meeting, we have involved their national team. One of their national engineer was on site, I think, a couple of weeks ago, to see that what's the best approach for us to shorten the time. So what we are looking at right now is since we are already in the production right now, we're expecting the material to be delivered by end of July. And then from there, it's like 4 to 5 weeks of, installation. When the installation will take place, they will have 2 crews working in parallel on both the escalators, and they will be making sure that, we can expedite that. One of the important item, as I said, that, we have the national team involved. At first, we were looking into in-truss replacement of the escalator. Now we are also looking into option of rip out and replace. What that means is that they will do more time in the production line, but it will shorten the time of our labor. The good thing is that we don't have to have these escalators not working when it's in production. The escalators won't be working when the labor is involved and installation happens. So we are working on this. Currently, as I said, our substantial completion for this project is end of September. These projects, then after that, there's some implementation of the county inspectors that we don't have control over it. What we have control over it is our work and Schindler, and we are working very due diligently to make that happen. Projects have their timeline. These are very preliminary, schedules that we have, but we'll come every month in front of the commission to update you guys when we are saving time. So this is basically the summary of where we are on this particular project. And I can attest to the commission that it's all hands on deck on our side, especially on the capital development team, along with Jeremy's help, that we are monitoring this project very closely. The second one is our shared structure. I'll discount that happily. The next one is, just so you know, in my report, I have some visuals also. The next one is our very big project, which is the outbound baggage handling system. Currently, we are investigating the underground. As Jason was saying, some holes and everything. It's more than that. As you can see in the visual, it's an ongoing coordination with the airlines. A lot of time we have to, coordinate with the airlines that some carousel needs to be closed. We are making sure that there's no implementation on the airline activities. When the last flight goes in, our crew comes in and they do all the potholing and investigation. When the first flight is ready to be done, the crew is gone from that area and it's business as usual. The next step in around end of March, early April, we'll be start barricading this area and making sure that operationally we are going on. There's no delay in this project. We are working due diligently with our general contractor and also with the construction management firm. We just want to assure you that, it seems to be an easy project, but every night, thanks to Ramon's team also and our operational partner, that there's a lot of coordination is happening, making sure that there's no, and this is busiest time, to Chair's point, 15, 17 planes on our regional concourse. So we are making sure that there's no delays on project that has on the airlines. Restroom project, we did brief that. Also, just to give you some heads up, we are on the first submittal with the cross the street with the city. The engineering review has been completed. Currently, the planning and the fire are been reviewing it. How this permit process work is like they have some comments. It goes back to our designer. They answer those comments. It goes to second submittal. If they have more comment, it comes back. So our timeline that we were when we initially applied for the permit was around mid February. We are looking into mid-April to be permit issues. But it also depends on how many questions they have and how many submittal we have to do. Our aviation planner is working due diligently, making sure that there's no lead time. There's a vacuum into this portion. So we are actually making sure that we are weekly kind of be on top of this. The next project is our 8 EV trucks. Just happy to announce that all trucks are here. We are just outfitting them with lights and radios. There's some lead item on the radios. It's just a matter of time when they will be here. I have a photo. It's still in the yard, but I took a photo of one of our trucks and it's in the report. My goal is to have a little more better photo for you guys next time with all the lights probably hanging. And then if all are here, we'll have outside in front of you for the next commission meeting for a ride. So 80 EV chargers, again, we are moving forward with that. One of the not so much challenge, but a hurdle is that season. But we'll keep engaged all our departments, and next month hopefully we'll have some updates that we are the installation has taken place. But we're on hands on deck on it. The last one is the hangar 18 outfall repair. That was one of the when one of the hurricane came in. There's little delay on this because we just find out that there are some utilities that needs to be replaced or relocated. One is the fire hydrant. We are doing some investigation if that fire hydrant is active or it's an abandoned one. So we are working with our fire department. Actually, Andrew's gone. Andrew and I, we were there earlier this week to make sure that where exactly go. So that is the one. And the other one is the communication utilities that we're working on. Good thing is that once these utilities are cleared, our general contractor is ready to be mobilized. Now, there should not be any delay on them. It's just these utilities needs to be relocated or we can work regarding it. So we are giving this month for this investigation. If we are not getting really progress into that, then we can talk to a general contractor how we can discount that or we can work around it. So we are doing all investigation right now, and then next month we'll come with some more updates to that. This is the last one, and I'm happy to answer any question that commission will have.
Questions for Armin? Phil, you're good. Armin, thank you so much. I appreciate the escalators. End of September. End of September. Yes. This year. Oh, not next one. Any questions? Any questions from the audience? We're good. Anybody on Zoom? Okay. We have several things going to council on the April 8th, including our parking decision we made today. I don't have any questions on anything on teacher city council actions. Does anyone else have any questions on that? All right, commissioner requests and reports. Oh, I read, Jeremy, you're doing Harry's summary.
There is a summary in the packet, so if anybody has any questions.
Talked about many of them. Anything else you want, any color you want to say on above and beyond? Okay, I know we talked about a bunch of stuff already. All right, commissioner requests and reports. Sure. Please.
Picture. So last month, we got a picture somewhere around here. Last month, we did a tour, and what we did is the city of Desert Hot Springs. We had the city manager, the deputy city manager, and a few others staff came here, and we did a on-site tour of the facility with staff, and there we are. A couple of people. There are staff, two of my fellow council members, our tourism deputy city manager, community development director, and of course there. And it was really nice because part of it is just to have them familiar with the operation. You know, they've used it personally. They've done a few emails, but they didn't really know who the person was. And what was nice is with this is that staff got to meet see the face behind the name, meet the people, hear a little bit about the operation, understand the operations itself, got to, learn everything about the baggage handling and all of this kind of thing, the future expansion, and develop a friendship. I think you develop kind of a peer-to-peer, relationship here, knowing that we're like right next door, just across the freeway. And they all really enjoyed it. And from looking at, from the airport staff, I could tell they were interacting with ours, and it was just nice to see. And, I would encourage those cities that are not Palm Springs, some of the others here, is that you set one of these up and see, if they'd be willing to do that, because the more that other people know about it, the more that they're able to promote it, they're able to understand it. They understand the economic development aspect of it. They were listening to Harry, they were listening to their staff members on these type of things. And it was extremely beneficial because it's one thing to say there's the airport, but when you're physically here and you're on it, and you're doing what you're doing, then you have, a different understanding about it. So when we're talking about economic development, we're talking about tourism, which is, Desert Hot Springs is huge with economic development and tourism, especially with our mineral hot spring water and all those type of things. And so with that, it was one where this is why the airport's so important. This is what it brings us. This is the tie-in. This is who you work with the airport. I didn't quite get the approval yet from Harry, but I'm hoping that he might one day. The beginning baggage handling trail that you got that loops around and does all that. I asked him in multiple different ways and options of what I could. I wanted to get a yoga mat and see if I could ride through that. I think I had staff clearance, I hope, right? But Eric was like, even at the chamber event, tried to, but almost, we'll see what happens maybe one day. But it was a great thing. I would really encourage those cities that are not the city of Palm Springs is to go and have your staff, have your city manager, community development director, especially economic development, what have you, and any other council members, because a lot of people take it for granted, frankly, or many of them don't really care. They just, there's the airport, and they're so distant away when in fact, the entire Coachella Valley and the greater eastern region of Riverside County is hugely impacted by this. And to have that personal touch and to have the great, the education that they got from the staff that talks very distinctly on what their tasks are and what they do, it's very monumental. And at that, I know our staff afterwards were all like, wow, I had no idea. They were just, this is so great. Why didn't we do this before? Now they've done it, and now they understand it, and now they know who to talk to. With different city, different community departments here in the city. So
it's good. That's what really smart. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's a great idea.
I tell my council members the first impression they have of Indio is often Palm Springs Airport.
Sure. Loud and clear. Other comments? Thank you for the other comments. I have one. So we had a comment from Rancho Mirage about noise. I know I've got also the feedback from Indian Wells that continues. So I just want to make sure at our next meeting, staff, let's get an update. You know, are we communicating? Are we getting the message through? Is it having any impact in terms of trying to impact decisions in Washington? I know our staff is meeting with Congressman today, and I just want to make sure we're communicating with the community about updates on this noise issue and continuing to encourage them to participate in ways that we think will have impact. So let's keep on it, and let's get another presentation next week or at our next meeting, and we'll have the noise committee support that as well. Are there any other comments or questions right now? And again, thank you for your work on parking above and beyond. That's amazing and really helpful to have your voice in this thing. Thank you so much. So thank you for that. Thank you, staff, for your presentation. Thank you, commissioners, for all your work. And our next meeting is in April 15th. By that time, you guys will be moving across the street. Is that still the plan?
No, not that cool. It'll take us a few months to mobilize.
All right, good. All right. We'll see you all. Thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Good meeting. Yeah, I saw him. Actually, he was probably this.